Okay, bishop's opening. Here's another scenario. Both players have played 4 moves, pretty standard stuff at the moment. It's white's move. We normally push this pawn at this point. They advance that knight. We pop that there. Now, if they push this pawn up at this stage, you know what's coming, which is they're going to attack with that pawn next on d5. You can pop the pin in place anyway, but if they do that, now first tip, I think, don't take the pawn. In theory, you can take that pawn, and because this knight's pinned, you've got 2 pieces attacking against, and you would win it. But as soon as you do that, it weakens this pawn, and this bishop can come and take this pawn back. I think you're better off just dropping the bishop back. Now, the next dangerous move is the pinning you there. Now, in this scenario, I think we can't castle. We haven't moved this knight out yet, so we've got to break that pin as quickly as immediately, really. I think even bring this bishop back. The reason is what they're planning is they take that and you take back, and then they advance that pawn. And if that bishop wasn't there, if that pin isn't broken, if you've done something like that instead, you can't move your knight and you lose your pawn. So you've got to be able to be in a position where you can move your knight, and your knight can go there. I mean, there are other scenarios around this. If there'd been a few more moves, for example, and this attack was developing, you do have time to move this knight. There's another video, another scenario where if they pin you here, you want to put the knight there so that you can castle and that can cover that. But in this scenario with the pawn attacking, if you put the knight there, this has got nowhere to go that's a good place. It would have to go there or somewhere. So actually, in this kind of attacking scenario, if you do have the opportunity in an earlier move to move the knight, I'd put it there because it's threatening that pawn and it gives this knight somewhere to retreat as well. But that's a side point. The 2 key tips, I think, are don't take that pawn there. And if they pin you there, you've got to break that pin next move so that when the pawn attacks the knight, you can move it, because otherwise you can't move it because of the pin.